All right, fifth graders, well, we're getting back into just some regular long division. We've done some estimating of quotients. We've done some using the zeros tricks, and we kind of introduced this a little bit back in 6.1, but we're going to be delving into this a little deeper, and we just have 4 problems that we're going to look at in today's video for 6.4. But I want you to pause, write it down, or whatever you need to do again to remember this order of divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, start over. And if you can start over again, you've got to divide, and a number's got to come up here. And so we'll kind of review that as we're going. Well, let's start with this first one, 337 divided by 8. Well, 337 divided by 8. 8 cannot go into 3. But 8 can go into 32, and if I think about my times tables, and I'll just be making another plug, long division is just another reason why it's good to have a very solid grasp on your multiplication tables. I believe that 8 can go into 33 4 times, with the idea that 4 times 8 is 32. After I multiply, I subtract. 33 minus 32 is 1. Bring down the 7. After I bring down, I start over again, which means I go back to division. I believe, and I want to point out here again, when I subtracted, I ended up with 1. When I subtract, I need to end up with a number less than what I'm dividing by. Bring down the 7. 8 can go into 17 2 times. 2 times 8 is 16. 17 minus 16 is 1. No numbers left to bring down, so I don't start over again. After I subtracted, I ended up with 1, which is less than what I ended up with here. I end up with 42, remainder 1. And that's how you write your answer. And you just show your work like this. 836 divided by 4. Well, 4 can go into 8. And since 4 can go into 8, I'm thinking, well, I know that 4 times 2 is 8. So 4 can go into 8 2 times. My 2 needs to go above the 8. Just like here, my first number needed to go above this 3, because I didn't want to say 8 could go into 3 4 times. I needed to say that 8 can go into 33 4 times. Where you put the numbers up top is very important. So that's my division. 4 can go into 8 twice. Now I multiply. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 minus 8 is 0. And I'm okay with that because I end up with something that's less than 4. Well, after I subtract, I bring down the next number, which is the 3. And as long as I bring down, I have to start over again, which means I need to divide. So now I'm figuring out, well, how many times can 4 go into 3? Well, 4 can't go into 3, okay? But I have to divide, which means I have to put a number up here. A common mistake that is made is then people just go ahead and bring down the 6 and put a 9 up here because 4 times 9 is 36, and that's not correct. 4 cannot go into 3, but after I bring down, I have to start over, which means I have to divide, and if I divide, I have to put a number up here. 4 can go into 3 0 times. Now, as long as I put the 0 here, if you want to do 0 times 4 is 0, 3 minus 0 is 3, and then bring down the 6, so you have a 36 here, that's fine. No problem whatsoever. The key is putting the 0 up here. But as you can see, you aren't going to end up with a 36 here anyway. If you want to, as long as you remember to put the 0 up there, since you're going to end up with 36 anyway, once you put the 0 up, then go ahead and drop the 6. And at this point, that's okay, because you ended up with 36 down here anyway. That's what you have here. The key is remembering to put the 0 up there. And now I can ask myself, okay, 4, how many times can 4 go into 36? And still, even when I did 3 minus 0 and got 3, that's still okay because that's less than 4. Because I need an answer that's less than my divisor when I'm done subtracting. Well, 4 can go into 36. I know that 4 can go into 36 9 times. 4 times 9 is 36. 36 minus 36 is 0. I end up with a final answer of 209. All right, let's move right along. We have 2 more examples we're going to look at in this video. The next one is 4,318 divided by 6. Well, I know that 6 can't go into 4, but 6 can go into 43, I believe, 7 times. Because 6 times 7, after I divide, I multiply, is 42. And I believe that 43 minus 42 is 1. Then, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring down the 1. I'm okay with 1 after I subtract because 1 is less than 6. 6 can go into 11. 1 time. 1 times 6 is 6. 11 minus 6, I believe, is 5. After I subtract, I bring down. Now, we haven't done much where we've had to bring down multiple times, but there's an example of a time where we're going to have to do that. Now we're getting more digits here, so there's going to be more numbers to bring down. I go ahead and I bring down the 8. I think about my times tables. I think that 6 can go into 58 9 times. After I divide, I multiply. 9 times 6 is 54. 58 minus 54 is 4. I have no numbers left to bring down. I'm okay with 4 after I subtract because 4 is less than 6. So I'm okay with a remainder of 4, 719. Remainder 4. I'm okay with that. Remainder less than what I'm dividing by. All right, last one. 9,723 divided by 7. Well, in this situation, 7 can go into 9. So I've got to put a 1 above the 9. 7 times 1, I believe, is 7. After I multiply, I subtract. 9 minus 7 is 2. I go ahead and bring the 7 down. I'm okay with 2 after I subtract because it's less than 7. 7 can go into 27 3 times. 3 times 7 is 21. 27 minus 21 is 6. And I'm okay with 6 after I subtract because it's less than 7. Then I go ahead and bring the 2 down. Okay? How many times can 7 go into 62? 7 can go into 62 8 times. After I divide, I multiply. 8 times 7, 56. And 65 minus 56, I can borrow from the 6, make that a 5, make my 2 a 12, because I can't do 2 minus 6. 12 minus 6 is 6. 5 minus 5 is nothing. I'm okay ending up with 6 after I subtract because it's less than 7. I'm going to go ahead now. Now I've got to bring this 3 down. And I'm thinking, well, how many times can 7 go into 63? Well, I think that 7 can go into 63 9 times. Because remember, if I bring down, I've got to start over again. 9 times 7 is 63. 63 minus 63 is 0. The key is remembering that order, and I'm going to write it down here again. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, start over. And if I can start over, I've got to divide. And every time I divide, I've got to write a number up here in the top. All right, here's an example where there was no remainder. Sometimes there's no remainder. Sometimes there will be a remainder. Just depends. All right, talk to you later, 5th grade. Bye.